Good morning, students. Hope all of you are fine. So today we will start a new chapter in science. The second chapter, the food factory of plants. This is again a little bit known to you because in our previous class also we have read a little bit about this chapter. We have discussed, if you can remember. So this chapter is again on the procedure, how the plants is making food. Which part of the plant is place where the food is made and all about that. So let us start. And before that, I want to tell you one thing. I have given a little bit question on drawing, on making diagrams. You will have to do that in your copy. In previous chapter also I have given you. In this chapter also, today's question paper, I have given, I think 2 or 3 questions I have given on drawing, on making diagram. You will make all of them nicely, clearly, and then you will have to label them. You will have to write down which part is what. Okay, so let us start the chapter. The food factory of plants. So in today's class, we will read only half of the chapter, the parts of a leaf, and then again we will explain how plants make food, and then we will discuss the conditions that is required for photosynthesis, the procedure of making food. Up to this we will study today. So let us start. Every living thing needs food. We know that. Without food we cannot do. Nobody, neither plant, nor human being, nor animals, nobody. It helps us to grow and carry out daily life activities such as studying. So whatever activity we are doing, playing, studying, working, making food, moving from one place to another, for that we need energy. Right, we have to be fit and fine for that. And how we can be fit and fine? By taking a proper diet, a proper course of food. Some living things can make their own food by themselves without the help of others, but some are dependent on others. So living things that can produce their own food without the help of others are known as autotrophs. What they are known? Autotrophs. And which is the best example of autotrophs? The best example of autotrophs are green plants. They can make their own food. And living things that depend on others for food are called heterotrophs. Okay, so all the animals and human beings are heterotrophs because we depend on others regarding our food. We get a major part of our food from the plants. But does a plant ask you for his food? No, it can make its own food by itself. So they are autotrophs and we are heterotrophs. Now, where the plant is making its food? The plant is making its food in the leaf. The leaf part is the kitchen of the plant, where they're making the food. Okay, so now we will study the part and function of a leaf. So let us discuss the parts of a leaf. If we observe the leaf of a rose plant or a peepal tree closely, the top surface of the leaf is protected by a waxy coating. There is a coating which is just like wax. This coating protects the leaf and prevents loss of water. So what for this coating is there? This coating is there to help the leaf from other damages. It protects the leaf and then it prevents loss of water. The flat part of the leaf is called the leaf blade. If you see the picture, parts of a leaf in page number 13, you can see the flat part of the leaf, it is called leaf blade. The tip of a leaf is called leaf apex. The upper and lower sides of a leaf blade is slightly different in color. The upper side is smooth and dark in color and the lower side is a bit rough and it is also a little bit fade or light in color. There is a thin tube that runs through the middle of a leaf. This is called the midrib. Can you see the picture? The midrib or main vein, the main rib that is going through the leaf, that is called midrib. Some other small tubes that are attached to the midrib are called side veins. So these veins help in transporting water, minerals and food to all parts of the leaf and also to other parts of the plant. They also provide strength to the leaf blade and help maintain the shape of the leaf. Okay, so these side veins, they provide strength to the leaf blade and they also help to maintain the shape of the leaf. Now the underside of a leaf has many little pores. These pores are called, we have already learned in the last class, these pores are called stomata. These pores are so small that we cannot see them with unaided eyes. Okay, with bare eyes we cannot see them. So during photosynthesis, during the procedure of making food, carbon dioxide enters the leaf. From air, CO2 or carbon dioxide enters the leaf. Through what? Through the stomata. And oxygen and water vapor are released from the leaf. During respiration, when the plant breathes, that is the process of respiration. During respiration, oxygen enters and carbon dioxide is released. Okay, so you will remember this point. During photosynthesis, oxygen is released and carbon dioxide is taken. And during respiration, oxygen is taken and carbon dioxide is released. Just the opposite. Two procedure, the coming and going of these two gases, O2 and CO2, oxygen and carbon dioxide, just the opposite. Okay? So that's all about parts of a leaf. So now we will discuss how do plants make food. So plants, we know plants can make their food by themselves. They don't need help from others. They are self-sufficient in making their own foods, and the leaf is considered as the kitchen of the plant because the food is made in the leaf part of a plant. So plants take in CO2 or carbon dioxide from air and water from soil. From air, they are taking carbon dioxide and they are taking water from the soil. The leaves of green plants contain a green substance. We all know that, right? The leaves of green plants, they have a particular green substance, and the name of this green substance is chlorophyll. Chlorophyll does what? They trap sunlight. Green leaves use the energy of sunlight to prepare their food. And with the help of what? With the help of carbon dioxide and water. Since this process takes place in the presence of sunlight, it is called photosynthesis. Photo means light and synthesis means preparing or making or putting together. So together the process is called photosynthesis. So what is the basic requirement for photosynthesis? One is carbon dioxide from air, another is water from soil, and the third one is the presence of sunlight. If all these three conditions are available, then only plants can make their own food. And the process is called photosynthesis. And of course, the presence of chlorophyll, the most important one. The presence of chlorophyll in the green leaves, that is essential for making of food through photosynthesis. Have you understood the conditions? CO2 from air or carbon dioxide from air, water from soil, and presence of sunlight, and also the presence of chlorophyll that is already present in the green part of the plant, that is in the leaves. And then plants can make their food through photosynthesis. So it is the process by which green plants can prepare their food. So during photosynthesis, during the process of making food, plants take in carbon dioxide and gives out oxygen. Plants used to take carbon dioxide during the process of photosynthesis and they used to release oxygen in the air. This oxygen is very much essential for other animals and human beings because we need oxygen for our breathing. Okay, so unless and until the plants are releasing oxygen, we will be helpless. We will feel helpless because they are releasing oxygen and that oxygen is essential for our breathing. So plants store their food in the form of starch. in the leaves. This is another point, that plants used to store their food in the form of starch in their leaves. And now you can see there is one equation given just below it, that is carbon dioxide plus water, then sunlight, and within bracket it is written as energy, because sunlight works here, performs here the function of energy. And then the output is glucose and oxygen, and this oxygen is essential for other animals and human beings. And since I have already told you, all this procedure is done in leaf, because leaf is having that green substance, chlorophyll. Leaf is called the kitchen of a plant, the food factory or kitchen of a plant. Now, one more important thing is there, that is leaves use the energy of the sun to change water and carbon dioxide into a kind of sugar, that we have already learned, that plants used to store their food as starch. And starch means it is a form of carbohydrate. And how it is stored? It is stored into a type of sugar, and that sugar is named as glucose. The type of food that plant is storing, it is called glucose. This thing is stored in plants for later use, for further use. So that's all about photosynthesis. So now we will discuss the last part of our class today, that is how do plants use food. So what is the use of food in plants? Plants use the food prepared by the leaves to get energy and for growth. So like all other living beings, plants also grow, and for this growth they need food to get the energy. Food provide energy to the plant for performing various processes. Food helps plants to grow more leaves, branches and other parts. That is, on the whole, the plant is growing. From a small plant, it is becoming a big tree. So for that growth, definitely it needs energy, it needs food. So that is the use of food in the plant. Now the extra food that he is making, maybe he doesn't need all of them. So there is something extra. These extra food is changed into a substance which is called starch. And I have already told you, starch is a type of carbohydrate. It is stored in leaves, sometimes in roots, in stems, in fruits, or even in seeds, the extra part of the food. We can eat these parts of the plants. So these parts where the extra food is stored in a plant, that is edible for us. We can eat them. Like lettuce. In lettuce, the extra food is stored in leaves. Like in sugarcane, the extra food is stored in stem. In carrot, it is stored in root. In banana, it is stored in fruit. And pea, we all of us, we have eaten. We all know what is pea. So in pea also, it is stored in seeds. So all these parts we can eat. These parts of the plants we can eat. Now, there are a few activities given in your book. We will read the first activity, that is activity 1, and activity 4 thoroughly. These two are very important. Rest of them you can just go through just to know. But these two activities you will have to learn, and you will have to practice the diagrams also. In activity 1, what is the first step that has been shown? Take a green leaf and boil it in water. Boil the leaf in alcohol. So first you will boil it in water, then you will boil the leaf in alcohol. Wash the leaf in cold water. So after boiling it in alcohol, what we will do? We will wash it in cold water. Thereafter, we will add a few drops of iodine. A few drops of iodine in the leaf. What will happen? The leaf will turn blue-black. So whenever we are adding iodine to the leaf, it is turning into a color of blue-black. And what it is proving? It is proving that starch is present in the leaf. The presence of starch is proved by this activity, because we know that iodine, whenever it is connected with starch, it gives a blue-black color. So as we are adding the few drops of iodine to the leaf, it is turning into a blue-black color. So it means that leaf contains starch. Okay, very easy one. I hope all of you have understood. Let us go to page number 17. There is activity 4. You must read activity 2 and 3 also by yourself. You will understand it. But we will have to discuss activity 4 now. Take a potted plant with green leaves. So you will have to take a plant in a pot. Okay, potted plant means a plant in a pot. Take a potted plant with green leaves, which is having green leaves. Select a leaf of the plant. You will have to take one green leaf from that plant. Take a thin strip of black chart paper. Place the strip in the middle of the selected leaf. You just follow the picture that is given in page number 17. You will have to put the strip in the middle of the leaf that you have taken and wrap it around the leaf. So you will wrap that strip, black chart paper strip, on the both side of the leaf. Now what you will do, you will leave the plant outdoor for 24 hours, for a day. You just leave it outdoor. On the next day, that is after 24 hours, pluck the leaf and remove the black strip. You take the leaf from there where you have kept it and remove that black chart paper which you have wrapped through the both side of the leaf. Taste that leaf for starch as done in activity 1. Then what you will do, you will add that iodine drops on the that part of the leaf, that wrapped part of the leaf. What will happen? What you will see? You will see there is no change. So what is proved by this taste? That part which was wrapped of the leaf, wrapped part of the leaf, it didn't get sunlight, right? So there was no making of food in that part of the leaf. And since there is no making of food in that part of the leaf, there is no starch present in that part of the leaf. So whenever we are adding iodine, there is no change in color because that part was not able to produce or make food, prepare food because it didn't get sunlight. So what is proved by this activity? That plant cannot make food without sunlight. Now there is some observation given below this activity. Can you see this? In page number 17. Is the starch present in covered part of the leaf? That part which you have wrapped, is starch present there? The answer is no. Is the covered part getting sunlight? No, it is not getting sunlight because it was covered. Is the starch present in uncovered part of the leaf? Yes, it is present because that part is not covered. That part was totally like the previous condition. It was not covered, it was the same. So starch was present there because that part of the leaf could make food. Is the uncovered part getting sunlight? Of course it is getting sunlight. That is why it is green. So what is proved by this activity? That the covered part of the leaf was not able to make food, and without sunlight, since it is not getting sunlight, without sunlight, food making is not possible in the parts of those leaves. Okay, that leaf rather. So that's all about this activity. You will have to draw this activity. You will have to write this activity. I have given this activity as your question in your question paper. So do that. That's all about today. Read the chapter thoroughly. Listen to my audio thoroughly by following line by line from your book. I hope everything will be clear to you. Okay, and do the assignments that I've already given you. So that's all. Take care and bye.